Good morning.
Good morning.
Yesterday we worked on building our Woodlands Mill 8-inch chipper. We got it all built and we still need to do make sure it's all preset right from the factory. But at the end of the day yesterday, it was raining and snowing and it was yuck. I kept the 574 inside, which I never do, but I am very glad I did. We got all the rain and snow last night and then it got down to the teens overnight, so everything would have been frozen to it. So now at least we have a nice dry tractor and chipper to use today. It's still chilly out this morning. It's about 28 degrees out right now. Sun is out, but now we get to go out, get the chipper going for the first time, make sure everything is running good, and see how this chipper works. I am excited for this because we've been waiting for a chipper like this for years. We've always had smaller ones. In the past, I have rented professional grade chippers that are 6-inch, the Bandit brand, and they've been okay, but nothing great. So with this Woodland Mills is an 8-inch, I'm curious to see how this compares to one of those. And instead of just having a small motor like they come with, this one is behind a 50 horsepower tractor. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it works.
So it should be good.
We should be good, exactly. Yesterday when it was snowing and blowing out, it was cold, you couldn't see nothing. I was like, oh yeah, a year ago today, we had the big solar eclipse and it was beautiful weather out. We were out in like t-shirts almost. And then the solar eclipse came, it got cold. It's like total totality came. I was like, man, what a difference from this year to last year.
He's not gonna just bring one chainsaw, he's bringing two. So he's got his battery operated small one right here.
Figure the big boy one will be good for if we gotta cut any big trees down. And then the small electric one is perfect if you gotta trim up a branch or two. You don't gotta keep having your big chainsaw on. You can just cut the little stuff up nice and easy. I know some of you guys are just as big of a coffee drinker as we are, because that's why we get Lumnah Acres coffee freshly roasted to share with you guys, because every time we meet one of you guys, you're like, hey, I get up first thing in the morning, I have my cup of coffee while I'm watching you. So now we have Lumnah Acres freshly roasted coffee. So it is delicious, it is good. If you guys want to get some, we just had a new batch of freshly roasted coffee and we still have some bags left over. So click the link down below. There's Fresh Tracks, which is a light roast, which is delicious. That's how I stop my morning off. There is Campfire Decaf at nighttime, especially with a dessert. If you want a nice hot cup of coffee or cold, and you don't want to be worried about staying up all night, Campfire Decaf hits the spot and you can't even tell that it's decaf. And for everybody who loves a dark roast, we have In the Woods dark roast, and you guys love that. We want to thank everybody who has been purchasing the coffee, and we want to thank everybody who gave us the idea to start making our own freshly roasted coffee, because fresh roasted coffee is delicious. So if you want to grab yourself a bag or two, click the link down below or go to lumnahacres.com. We have our coffee there and our merch. All right, I'll stop talking. I'll stop drinking my coffee. Let's get to chipping. So a little while ago, we had the storm that blew over a couple of trees over on our driveway. We cut them up and set them aside. We said we're gonna come back and take care of them. Well, this is what we were waiting for to take care of them with. So now we got them all piled up right here. Let's start chipping them and see how this thing does. The nice part is we got a decent little selection right here. We have a bunch of smaller stuff, and then those butts down there we measured. They're 7 inches, and this will take up to an 8-inch. So it'll be interesting to see how it does with that. And then we'll also chip some other wood to see how it does with hardwoods versus softwoods. All right, let's make sure the chipper is in neutral. So that's forward, neutral. Okay, so we want to make sure we're in neutral. I'll go start the tractor, put the tractor in neutral, start it, and then I'll turn the PTO on, and then I gotta get my RPMs up to it hits the 540 mark on the tachometer. And then we can start chipping. Go on. We're spinning. So is the flywheel. Actually bring it up. That's reverse, that's forward. Our speed, let's see. So far it's working good. It's taking all the smaller stuff in. Let's put this other piece in there now. It's got a bunch of branches. I'm curious to see if it'll suck it in itself, or if we'll have to trim off all the little branches. I'm hoping it just pulls it right in there, because that'll save a lot of time. So I didn't have to mess with the branches. What happened there is it ripped off a bunch of the branches and they got all balled up. Once I backed it off, took those balls out, fed those in, it took the rest of it nice and easy. I'm liking this. That was a good sized piece. That was like 6 to 7 inches in diameter. That took it pretty good. The one issue I am seeing is when I put like a piece in there that has a bunch of limbs on it, the pine, it'll get balled up and it'll make it so that the drum kind of like spins on it. So I gotta back it off, get all that extra debris out, let that get chipped up. And then once I push the piece through, it'll pull it in and suck it in. So it's not that it won't take it, but it like loses traction because there's too much other stuff around it. So it's not just grabbing the wood. That works good. I am really impressed with that. That is working good. So we put through some probably 6.5, 7 inch diameter wood. That took it really good. Let's go over here and check the chips out. We've got some really nice chips over here. I like that. When you're over here smelling it, you smell like the Christmas tree.
You don't even need to be back there. You can smell it all the way over.
That'll definitely do. An 8-inch piece. Anything bigger than 8 inch we'd make into firewood anyways. So this is a perfect size for us. I'm liking those chips, but we do have one more tree down that's like half down. So let's go take care of that one. As we're cutting it up, we'll throw it right into the chipper and see how much more convenient that is. So if you ever hear the chipper or any chipper like pulsate or stop for a second, instead of like the chipper getting bogged down and like stalling out the motor, they have a system in there so once it starts slowing down, it slows down the wood feeding in. So you'll hear it pulsate, so it gives it time to chip everything up nicely instead of stalling out the motor. So it'll go in, it'll feed it, it'll pause for a second, let it get caught up, and then it'll keep taking more in. So you'll hear like a pulsation noise, or it'll wait for a second, but it's still working. This feeds the wood in so nice. I like the height of it, but the big thing I have noticed is that it pulls the wood in nice. A lot of times we have a chipper that doesn't have a good infeed. You're over there like jamming it in, and at the end of the day, you're just exhausted from beating your body up, just throwing the wood in. This you can just kind of put in there, it takes it. The only ones I kind of had to work were like the 7-inch diameter ones because I got to get the feed roller to go up. So if on the outside, if you're seeing this move, this controls the drum. So right now the drum's all the way down, touching the base. So when you're trying to put a 7-inch or an 8-inch piece in, you got to lift that all the way up from the beginning to get it to bite and pull it in. So if it was a tapered end, it would take it in a lot easier. And then as it was going, if it was tapered up, it would just like gradually open up. So if you're just going with a big piece, you're just trying to jam that butt in up against that wheel, and that wheel's got to jump up. So a couple of times I kind of had to just jam it in until I could get the roll feeder to take it in. I'm very curious to see how this tree goes because this is a birch tree that's probably, I don't know, between 6 and 8 inches in diameter is my guess. We have a lot of these trees on our property that are just very long, narrow and skinny, and they branch out the very top that we're going to be needing to take care of for making silvopasture. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes. This one, we're going to have to do in a couple of sections because it's got a couple of forks where it's broken and everything, but let's see how this does. Probably won't make a ton of chips. It's kind of weird. You look at a tree, it's like, man, that's a lot of material there. But once you got it all cut up and chipped, you just have a small little pile. So let's see what it looks like. I think the branches are holding it up.
Be careful.
Yeah, ready? All right, let's see how quick work we can make of this. I'm hoping I can just throw these branches in the way they are. I'll chip this piece. I'll probably chip that piece. This we'll save for firewood. We'll cut it up, bring it up, burn it. That's what you get from one decent sized branch. That last piece I could have saved for firewood, but I had the Y fork on the end of it with two small pieces coming off. Curious to see if it would take the Y fork in there, and it did. It took it and it broke it and made it fit through, and it went really good. Now let's go check on the pile of wood chips. You might be surprised. That's all we ended up with. That was the whole tree to where it was broken off, right in that little pile.
I actually think that's bigger than what I thought.
Is it?
Yeah.
I took a little picture of the first, what it looked like after the first branch. It was like this. Most of this is from those last two pieces that were good sized branches, or because there's just the small little branches with all the little fingers you don't get much out of. It's the bigger wood. So when you have nice small chips like this, it means your knives are sharp. The long pieces like this, it's still sharp. What this is, you'll see like the end of a piece, or the end when you're all done, the little end butt pieces, when they're coming through, kind of like splinter off. And that's why you'll get these bigger chunks at the end. But I didn't realize it. These wood chips will break down better than wood shavings in a compost pile. I would have thought wood shavings for bedding would be better for the compost pile, but they're not. These are better for a compost pile. They'll break down a lot faster, and then it's got all the bark mixed in with it, so that really helps it break down. So we got to come up with a system so we can store this for about 30 days, and then it'll dry out, because right now it's really wet. So if we can get these to dry out, they'll absorb everything for our bedding. They'll absorb the manure, and they'll absorb the urine. And then we go to compost this, it'll break down really fast. It's actually pretty wild. Look at this. So this is the end grain. Well, this is the grain, and it's able to like splinter apart.
That's probably why it can break down.
Probably. It's not dried out.
That's cool.
That is cool. Not a ton of firewood, but That'll be at least 3 days of heat and hot water for us. All right, let's fold the chute up and see how it transports with the chute out of the way. So we'll take our linkage out. That goes right down here. Do our locks. Then we can lift our chute up and out. We can kind of clean it off at the same time. And then we can clean the chute out easily too, so we don't have all this debris sitting in there and rotting and causing rust or anything. I like that. Well, I'm glad we got to check off the few little projects we had for the chipper today. We have some bigger ones in store. We just gotta wait for the mud to dry out a little bit so we can get to them. But I am really impressed with how well this chips. This chips better than any of the commercial chippers I have rented. So I am excited to use it some more. Let's head on up and feed the Highland cattle. They need a new round bale, and we also got to give them some herbal dewormers.
Got stuck, guys.
Gotta love mud season.
Oh gosh. Oh. What's going on, guys? I know, it's crazy. Oops. Yeah, you know. You know what that means. Okay, come on.
They don't call it mud season for no reason.
Are you gonna be able to get the tractor through here now?
Yeah, the tractor's been fine in there. Worst case scenario, I won't be able to feed them down low. I might have to just come up here and feed them up here. That'd probably be the best bet.
You're still gonna get through that spot.
Yeah, that spot, it's fine in the tractor. Tractor's high enough. I just don't want to be jigging and jagging right there to get in the gate. So I'll come up and I'll have you open, if you want to feed them the treats on the other side of the gate, and I'll open the gate and then I'll feed them out above. We're gonna have to feed you guys up above. I know, we like feeding you down here because we can watch you all the time. We're gonna have to feed you up there. Gina's got treats for you. That's where I'm gonna put your hay bale. All right, see you in a minute. We like feeding them down low over here because it is nice to be able to see them all the time from the house when we're walking by doing chores. When we feed them up above, you don't see them. And we like being able to watch our cattle. They're cool animals. So lately I've been just feeding them down here, but this is just the area where Gina got stuck, was right back here. So in order to pull in, I kind of got to jig and jag. So let's just drive up straight. That was solid. So yeah, we'll do that and see how this goes. Hopefully the tractor doesn't get stuck. I haven't had any issues so far with the tractor. The side-by-side, I know every time we go up there, it's worse and worse with the side-by-side. So let's find out.
Okay, we're not gonna feed you right there. We're gonna go a little further. Let me get you some treats. I know, I messed it all up, guys. I know.
So far, so good. We're staying out of her rut. Well, that worked good. I just sat over to the right of the rut she was in, and I got in no problem. I could probably feed them down there, but I just hate to mess it up anymore. We were already having issues getting up here. Hopefully mud season's just about done with. it was drying up and doing pretty good. Then now it just seemed like it got worse. So I don't know if like the deep frost, because we had like 3 feet of frost in the ground, I don't know if that's starting to come out of the ground right now and that's what's causing the issue, but it got bad again. So hopefully in a little bit we'll be done with this nasty mud.
Over here more. Come on. There you go. No. I know. You want me to give you one? Okay.
If we wanted them to spread the hay like that, they wouldn't. We want them to eat it. They like beating it up every time we give them a new bale. Half and Half's favorite thing, a new hay bale. She normally don't care for treats.
Want a treat? Come on. I know, I wouldn't do it through the fence earlier. Don't go too close to the fence.
Is that good? You must really like them herbal dewormers, huh?
Come on. Don't spit it out. I put a lot of work into these, so you eat them, eat them, eat them. There you go. Next. Good boy. Oh, Reba, you like those. Oh, put it in. I just gotta remember who I gave it to. Yeah, you guys are silly. You know, Miles, you already had yours. There you go. Just need Black Beauty now. You gotta take it in your mouth. You don't like those ones? You don't like those ones?
All right, we got our different minerals to put out for them. We got their mineral feeder over here. Just about empty. One.
Oops, I think that must be nice.
There we go. They love their minerals. We love seeing them eat them. They'll keep healthy. And whenever they don't use, they excrete or remineralize the soil for them. So it's a win-win.
You only get to have one though. Goats can only have one. What's your favorite?
It feels good getting those couple of trees cut up and chipped up. It's nice knowing that the chipper is going to work the way we want it to, because you always get ideas in your head like, hey, this is going to do this is going to do that, and sometimes you get everything set up and it's like, oh no, it's not. We have some chipping we want to do up where the Highland cattle are, but as you saw, it is pretty muddy up there right now. It's kind of weird. The mud had like almost, I don't want to say almost gone away, but it started to dry up. And all of a sudden, it just got super deep and muddy in some spots. So I don't know if that's from the rain, if that's from frost coming out of the deeper spots in some areas. I'm not sure. The herbal dewormers that we were feeding the cows and the goats and everybody, that is just an herbal dewormer that we make up for a preventative maintenance for the animals. So that way we don't got to worry about them getting worms. It's one of those things that you got to do it like preventatively with the herbal dewormer, so that because it's natural, it's not as harsh, so you just want to like keep up on it. But we have found it has worked out really good. We've started doing that since we got the goats, and we really like it. And the Highland cattle really seem to enjoy it. They love their treats, which we love that they love their treats, so that way we can get them to come over to us. So this is where we're going to end this video. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we'll see you right back here in the next video. Bye.